To all of our local, our regional and our international listeners and viewers, thank you so much for choosing us. Welcome, welcome to another edition of the program Conversations with Zelisa, where we continue to inform, educate, empower and answer those unanswered questions. I am Zelisa Budusing Rupani, humbly inviting you to sit back, relax, enjoy, but more importantly, absorb the relevant and important information we are about to share with you. Grab your pen, get your paper, call your friends, call your family members, and of course get your phone so you could take down important numbers that will be helpful for you and your loved ones. Directing this morning and in Master Controller Kua George, we'd like to wish each and every one of you a fantastic day today. It's Friday, the 13th of January 2023. I trust all is well and you're having yourself a great day. And of course to all of our viewers on Synergy TV, all of our viewers on the Caribbean Showtime Television in Canada, our listeners on U975 FM Multicultural Radio, Facebook and YouTube, thank you for choosing us, all right? We're going to go straight to our quote for today, coming to us with the kind compliments of ZMB Communications Limited, and it says, "Don't waste your time in anger, regrets, worries, or grudges. Life is too short to be unhappy." That's a lovely message. So I want you to smile, enjoy the moment and enjoy the day, and don't waste time on these things that are negative, all right? That came to us with the kind compliments of ZMB Communications Limited. Let's say good morning to the management and staff of Master Eric. His offices are located opposite Palmis Park in San Fernando and LP 78 Monroe Road in Kunupe. Telephone contact numbers are 354-4459, 497-7226, all right? Write them down, lock them in on your phone because it could be helpful for you or your loved ones, all right? Let's say Sitaram, Namaste, Assalamu Alaikum, Sairam, and a warm welcome going out to the one and only, a force to be reckoned with, Master Eric.
Thank you, Zelisa, and also Sitaram, Assalamu Alaikum, Sairam, and good morning, everyone. I just want to say, you know, I love that quote because life's too short for bad vibes. And I live by that because, and I want to go into this later in other programs, you know, but why do we do this? See, this is what why is it? You know, some trainees say, oh, we just love bacchanal, right? But that bacchanal causes bad energy.
You're correct, it's toxic.
You know, so why do we love it? Why are we attracted to these things? That's what I'm going to go over in future programs because it needs to slow down.
Yeah.
It really needs to slow down. And then people start sleeping better. They're not going to be worrying. And then I always say, why do you worry? Why do people worry about something that hasn't even happened yet? Does that make sense?
Master Eric, you're so correct and you're always on point. And you said something there that's extremely important, and I'm going to ask you straight off before we get into our conversation. When we hold on to hatred, you know, somebody hurt us, somebody said something, somebody did something, and we hold on to it, is that holding us back from blossoming?
Oh, definitely. Anything that's a negative is hatred, jealousy, even lust. That even holds us back.
Okay.
In life. Anger, you know, gossiping.
Mm-hmm.
Gossiping is another one.
So gossiping is bad. That's
well, it's a
terrible.
sin.
Exactly. So Master Eric, the thing is, and I'm saying this now on behalf of how some of our viewers and some of our listeners are thinking. Somebody really hurt us. I mean, hurt us in the sense that would have said, because there are lots of sibling rivalry for land, for this, for
Correct,
that. Somebody
correct.
say this, for a simple thing as jewelry, for sometimes for utensils, which is so stupid.
china or
Yes,
whatever in the house,
simple things. Huh? Now,
Right.
we may say it's simple, but for them, perhaps it's important or it's
Correct.
meaningful,
Or sentimental.
Exactly.
Okay.
But sometimes we find that in some situations a sibling, one may take advantage and talk down to one, or bully, as we say, feel you can talk to me however you want to talk to me, push me around kind of thing, make me feel less than I am. How do we then cope? Because we have feelings and we don't want to be hurt and we don't want to, you follow. So then help us to understand, because we understand now by holding on to this and saying, well, I'm not talking to you, I lock you off, I lock the door on you, forget you. And how could you forget someone that you came from the same womb? You follow? I like to use that because sometimes we forget who we are when it comes to family, especially that bond of growing up together, coming from the same parents, the same home, and then when you become adults, you don't talk to each other for years. That to me, that's really bad. So help us
Okay.
to understand how to let go of that.
Well, first of all, what even made you angry in the first place?
Okay.
Okay. Now, a person, every viewer, every listener,
Yeah.
without ego, that's very important.
Okay.
Without ego or pride, don't you know who you are? That's the first thing.
Right.
And are you on the right path yourself? Doing the right things. I'm not saying just a spiritual path. I'm talking materialistic and physical also. Right? Now, if what they're saying isn't true, why would it hurt you? It may irritate you because you know it's false.
Not true. Yeah, of course.
It's false.
You're going to be upset if
So
somebody
now,
yes.
instead of, in some beliefs, they say we live in the Maya, we live in the illusion, right? So why do we get involved and devoured by the anger? And why don't we look beyond that to see why did they say it in the first place? What is hurting on their side? A lot of people hurt people because they're hurting themselves.
Yeah.
So when I was taught, my teacher, my guru used to say, do not look at just at what you see. Look beyond what you see.
Yeah.
And you will see the truth. Do not listen to what's being said directly. Look at what's not being said. And you will see the truth. We grow up to react to situations spontaneously.
Yeah.
Okay? But is that right? Or should we take a second before we respond or say something? And what you were saying, lock up the door, throw away the key. And that's 98% of the people.
Yeah.
But the question is, Zelisa, I'm going to throw it back on the spiritual side.
Yeah.
Is that a spiritual thing to do? When Jesus walked the land, Krishna, Ram, Buddha, would they just push somebody away because they got you angry? No. They always put out a helping hand to find out what is causing it.
So what you're saying then, in a situation as such,
If it's false, do not let it come in here.
right, you know better than that.
Right.
What you're saying, I
And
know
then
it's not true.
you're looking at
so
them
don't
like,
allow it to be.
okay,
get
so
to it.
now why is this being said?
So then, what are you advising us? You're saying then, in a situation
You're in
where
control of
somebody said
yourself.
something, should you then be the wise? I'm not saying bigger. I'm saying the wiser one
Correct.
to say, look, this thing is out of proportion. It's grown into a monster. Let's try to let's sit and have a nice conversation on how we could fix it and move forward.
Now, before
Are
you have
seeing
the
this?
conversation,
Yeah,
Zelisa,
yeah.
first, you have to make sure that you don't have that emotional anger. And then the next step is
Yeah.
you need to have somebody neutral to be in that conversation. Number 3, you have to agree to disagree at the beginning. Because
So let me ask you this question, right? Let me ask you this question. Is it wise then, if like we say bacchanal or couture or old talk starts, or you start arguing, an argument starts, and I'm talking about sibling rivalry or friends or whatever, is it wise then, or is it rude? Because some people may think it's rude, but then some may think it's wise. What do you advise? Do you then say, you see this, right now, you are not in the right frame of mind, I am not in the right frame of mind, and I'm not going to continue with this conversation, and get up and walk away? Is it wise to do that? Or is it rude to do that?
no, it's not rude. I always advise people, if you get into a situation to where it's just raising,
Yeah.
no matter what,
Yes.
and it's starting to raise, the
Yeah.
best thing to do is say,
Yeah.
hey, you know what? Let's talk about this tomorrow.
Right.
You know, when we're both thought
Yeah.
about it a little bit,
Yeah.
and we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Okay.
They may have a couple words to say after
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
but you know it's the right
Yeah.
thing to do.
Stop it. Nip it in the bud. Don't allow
Correct.
it. Yeah. I like that advice.
It's just like when people come up to you and they'll say, hey, Zelisa, you know what this person did down here to this other person? Well, you've heard me. I say, who cares? That has nothing to do with me.
And you know what?
You know, if it has something to do with me,
Yeah.
I'm going to nip it before it even reaches me.
But that's something I
You know?
always, since I've met you, it's something and a quality that I always admire with you. I've never, out of the time that I've spent with you, you've never entertained or encouraged gossip. And you've
No.
always said, if that's not your, bothered. And I've adopted that as from you as well. I've learned from that.
And don't you feel better?
Of course.
You're
because
not absorbing
because
all
sometimes
this
people say, well, I
negativity.
just want to tell you, I want to consult. And sometimes you feel, well, all right, let me listen. But it doesn't make sense because it doesn't have anything to do. Were you getting involved, wasting your, put your time involved in other things rather than, and I learned that from you.
And then when people come for help,
Yeah.
you give them your full attention,
Yeah.
but you remain neutral. You have to keep your
You
distance.
have to be.
You have to keep your distance.
Yeah.
If you're neutral and you keep your distance, you can help the person. But once you get wrapped up into whatever situation is out
Yeah.
there, now you're in trouble.
Or you start taking sides.
You can't.
You can't.
You have to be fair on both sides.
Yeah.
Because, Zelisa, I would say 95% of the people that come, they never tell you the full story. They never do. But
There's always a little something that's missing.
correct. And that's when you get in listening. I always tell people, you cannot learn if you keep talking. How? How can you hear and learn and see when you are trying to get your point across? Now, how do you know your point is exactly right? You know, that's where the thinking process, and I always tell people, before you do something or before you say something, take 2 seconds, just 2 seconds. And when you take that 2 seconds, I don't care who you pray to, whether it's Allah, Buddha, whoever, just say, what would they do in this situation?
Nice point. With that being said, I just want to remind all of our listeners, all of our viewers, that our program today coming to us with the kind compliments of Master Eric. His offices are located opposite Palmis Park in San Fernando and LP 78 Monroe Road in Kunupe. Telephone contact numbers are 354-4459, 354-4459, 497-7226. Now, a lot of people have been saying to me they're calling and they can't get in. Leave a WhatsApp message. Leave a WhatsApp message and someone will return the call. All right? Let's go to these important messages. When we return, we continue our conversation with Master Eric. If you may have any questions, you want to ask a question regarding, the show, then please feel free to send a WhatsApp message, 3847142. I'll read it to Master Eric and he'll guide you accordingly. 3847142. When we return, stay with us.
Master Eric provides the universal spiritual approach in ancient meditation techniques, chakra alignment and cleansing, home cleansings and exorcisms, treatment and removal of body pains, develop persons' spiritual gifts, and assist couples that cannot conceive, full medical body scans, and these are just a few services that are provided. If you need help, please call or WhatsApp Master Eric at 354-4459. The Untold Truth, every Friday at 6 p.m. The journey has just begun with Master Eric. Zelisa. A new kind of podcast getting to the root of hidden knowledge. You can join us on Facebook, Conversations with Zelisa, TT, and YouTube, Master Eric. Your journey has just begun. Master Eric provides the universal spiritual approach in ancient meditation techniques, chakra alignment and cleansing, home cleansings and exorcisms, treatment and removal of body pains, develop persons' spiritual gifts, and assist couples that cannot conceive, full medical body scans, and these are just a few services that are provided. If you need help, please call or WhatsApp Master Eric at 354-4459.
Visit Agri Savers Limited, number 19 Orange Grove Trace, St. Augustine, for all your agriculture, livestock, pet, agri-equipment, hydroponics, cannabis, fishing tackle supplies, and much more. Open Monday to Friday 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Contact 473-6074. 663-1094. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
Welcome back to the program Conversations with Zelisa. To all of our viewers on Synergy TV, all of our viewers on Caribbean Showtime Television in Canada, all of our listeners on the new U975 FM Multicultural Radio, Facebook and YouTube, thank you so much for choosing us, allowing us to be part of your moments, but of course giving you information so that you could be a better you could make better choices, better decisions, you can be empowered, yeah? In conversation with Master Eric this morning, and of course our program coming to us with the kind compliments of Master Eric. His offices are located opposite Palmis Park in San Fernando and LP 78 Monroe Road in Cunupare. Telephone contact numbers are 354-4459, 497-7226. Welcome back, Master. And I just want to remind our listeners and our viewers, if you may have a question or you have a comment, you're free to do so at 3847142. Send me a WhatsApp and I'll read it to Master.
So, Zelisa, I think when we talk about the anger and why do we let things bother us, we have to look a little deeper. And what is it that's not settled within ourselves? What is it that we are not aware of that causes us to doubt some of our decisions? And when you doubt, you're going to come out and start making a decision with two minds about something. And then And I want to just kind of play it off. I always go back to spirituality. I have to. And so, Zelisa, let's say you were making a decision, and you've weighed out the pros and the cons before you executed that decision, which most people don't. They do spontaneous or, and what was the first thing I mentioned to you when we first met? About making a decision.
Oh, wow. That's powerful. Very powerful, Akua.
And I said it strongly to you, too.
Very firm. And I think
Strict.
we only knew each other not very long. You said to me, Zelisa, do not make decisions on emotions. And is it okay if I share that? Because we do have a lot
That's
of
up to you.
listeners now, and
Yeah.
we do have. It was at a time just prior to my husband dying, days before he passed. And you were there when I got a telephone call from a private institution, a nursing home. And they were saying to me I had to come up with something like $500,000. You heard the conversation because it was
Yeah.
on speaker and I couldn't hear clearly. And they said, they said, okay, you've got to come in the morning. And I said, look, whatever it takes, it will be done because I will do whatever it takes for my husband to survive, right? And my husband then bought it because he was there. He went to get a reading from you. When I say a reading, the medical scan, which told us everything that we had spent thousands and thousands of dollars
Correct.
for prior.
Correct.
That confirmed everything that was going on. And my husband said, no, Lisa, let's talk about, no, whatever. And I said, no, I am getting involved now. I am making a decision and you're going to do it and we'll do it tomorrow. And you pulled me aside square very firmly and said, Zelisa, please do not make decisions based on this emotion that you're having right now. By the Tuesday, my husband died.
And he already knew to a certain extent. And some places, and we can't name the name, but all over the world, sometimes they will milk you until that time.
Especially in a very sensitive
And they take advantage of it.
and time like that. It's a time where it's like you are thinking it's life and death, and they manipulate and play with your emotions.
Correct. And they
To take
draw on that
advantage.
to do an advantage. Now, I want to let you, I know we don't like to go back to those times, right? But I want you to understand the test they wanted to do would have took 4 to 5 days to get the results. He passed before that.
Correct.
So that big amount of money wouldn't it would have been wasted. You know, see, this is what I'm trying to say, people. Sometimes we get involved in certain situations. Now, there's one thing my father instilled in me, and you know I talk about my father a lot.
Yeah.
He instilled in me when I was a boy. He would say, go do this. And I'd look at him, I'm like scared because I didn't really I've seen him do it, you know, and I'll say, but Dad, I can't. He said, son, that word will never exist in your vocabulary.
Yeah.
Okay. The next thing he did not like is when you say you have a problem. There is no such thing. You have a situation. And there's always a solution to a situation.
So what you're teaching us here, or telling us here, is that also the power of your words.
And I just
and
talked to
how-
one of
yeah.
your staff here a little bit ago.
Yeah.
And what they were telling me, I said, that's great, but rephrase it. Because you don't want to cause negativity to come to what you're trying to do. Rephrase it.
The power of your words.
Correct.
The power of your, and that's something I teach my daughter, you know. Never say, Mommy, I can't. Say, Mommy, I will try
No.
and I will.
Exactly.
And she has that attitude now, you know, that she wouldn't say can't because she knows I always say, no, you will try and you will, you know.
And see, a lot of anger, a lot of situations, ego is involved. And ego is what takes you down in the eyes of the people that are watching you. You know, in most of the scriptures, they talk about go out and witness. Go out, spread the word, right? And that's great. But what are they really telling you? It's not to go out and preach to every Tom, Dick, and Harry out there. Do you know how you witness, Zelisa? By your own actions every day. There's people on the street that you probably never met. You know, they don't know you, but they know of you. And they know what you say here. But what would happen if they saw you do the opposite outside? They just killed that image.
Of course, because you
So-
have to live by example in what you say.
Correct.
And that's something I live by in the rule, not just here, but from the time I started on media. You have to understand when you are in the media, like yourself, like your family, your close family, you have to live by example. So I have to preach, I have to live what I preach. Otherwise, it's double standards.
It's hypocrisy.
Exactly.
And we have a lot of hypocrisy. But what I'm trying to say, everybody, you can witness, even witness for God, more by your actions.
The life you live.
And what you say to
I like
people,
that.
how you treat the people.
I like that.
See, even in Christianity, the Bible says, do unto others as you would have done to yourself.
Yes.
Well, this is what I'm talking about. Okay? You cannot go into a place of worship, act like you're the most righteous person in the world,
Yeah.
and then go outside and start cussing in front of your kids when there's a traffic jam.
Yeah.
And start, ridiculing people.
Agree.
And
You know what a lot of people do as well, Master Eric? They teach their children to lie first, not other people, Your phone ring, tell them I'm not home.
right. So now you're telling them to lie.
Yes, you teach it. That is teaching your kids to lie.
You know,
You're lying.
So what are we doing? The basis of the foundation of everyone is in your younger years. What you're seeing, what you're hearing, what your parents and the people that's around you as you grow up, what are they installing upon you?
Well, that being said, scientists would have proven that 75% of what you teach your children from birth to 7 years old, what you instill, the morals, the values, the life you choose, this is what carries them through until their death.
Correct.
They take it. This has been proven. Huh? So what you just said is facts.
Now, let's go a little deeper. You hear people, and when you take positive classes, positive energy, or, you want to be more professional, more positivity in everything you do, they always say live in the now. Well, that's true to a certain extent. But what everybody has to understand here, right now, is every day you live, you're not living it for this life. You are living it when you leave here for your journey.
That's powerful. Please.
And I want you to always be aware of that, because we get caught up in the everyday life. And another thing, do not succumb to norms. That's deadly.
I want to talk about that when we return. Do not succumb to norms.
No.
I like that. When we return, we'll talk about that. Reminding you our program coming to us with the kind compliments of Master Eric. Offices are located opposite Palmis Park in San Fernando and LP 78 Monroe Road in Cunupare. Telephone contact numbers are 354-4459 497-7226. Now, for the benefit of our listeners on radio, I'm going to repeat the number again. 354-4459 497-7226. Let's go to these messages.
Master Eric provides the universal spiritual approach in ancient meditation techniques, chakra alignment and cleansing, home cleansings and exorcisms, treatment and removal of body pains, develop persons' spiritual gifts, and assist couples that cannot conceive, full medical body scans, and these are just a few services that are provided. If you need help, please call or WhatsApp Master Eric at 354-4459. The Untold Truth, every Friday at 6 p.m. The journey has just begun with Master Eric. Zelisa. A new kind of podcast getting to the root of hidden knowledge. You can join us on Facebook, Conversations with Zelisa, TT, and YouTube, Master Eric. Your journey has just begun.
Welcome to the Antediluvian Nature Center of Life Extension and Health Recovery. Coming from the Garden of Eden, the Antediluvian Nature Center brings to you breakthrough medicines and anti-aging technologies for all ailments and diseases in the body, nutritional therapies, naturopathic treatments, as we create opportunities of hope and celebrate longevity. And remember, the healing is from God.
This is Full 100, an all-natural herbal dietary supplement formulated exclusively for men. Our proprietary blend was designed with one goal in mind: to improve your overall health, rejuvenating your vitality, energy, strength, and libido. Want to be at your peak performance in everything you do? Then get Full 100. Fast-acting, long-lasting, with no side effects.
Oh my God.
Visit Agri Savers Limited, number 19 Orange Grove Trace, St. Augustine, for all your agriculture, livestock, pet, agri-equipment, hydroponics, cannabis, fishing tackle supplies, and much more. Open Monday to Friday 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Contact 473-6074, 663-1094. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
Welcome back to the program Conversations with Zelisa. Of course, to all of our viewers on Synergy TV, all of our viewers on the Caribbean Showtime television in Canada, all of our listeners on the new U975 FM Multicultural Radio, Facebook and YouTube, thanks for choosing us. And our program this morning, in conversation with Master Eric, coming to us with the kind compliments of Master Eric, and located opposite Palmis Park in San Fernando and LP 78 Monroe Road in Cunupare. Telephone contact numbers are 354-4459, that's 354-4459, 497-7226, 497-7226. Master, welcome back.
Thank you. And before I start, I just want to announce meditation, the next class, is going to start next Sunday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So if you want to register, the location is going to be at the Monroe Road office. And it's something that I think most people need. What the first class found out, that Western teaching of meditation only gets you 1/10 of the way. But when you take the teachings from the root where it came from, over 4,000 years ago, it's so simple. It's simplicity. And you're going to be able to reach and talk to who you pray to. Everybody but one person in the class actually connected and received a message from the one they pray to. And I said, don't even tell me the message. That's for you, right?
Yeah.
But it relieves stress. You know, it feels like you had a vacation once you come out of the meditation.
I remember some weeks ago, I think that was the last podcast I did with you.
Right,
prior
and you
to
were
Christmas.
talking to some of the
And
people
I
that's in the
met
class.
Some of the live audience, and I met a beautiful, well, some people, but I had a nice conversation with a couple from South, and I got, you know, their perspective to what it did, and they were totally in awe, and you know, they spoke so highly of how it would have transformed them and their decision, even up to their decision making and things like that. I remember the husband saying that he felt so different in terms of being calm, and you know, he would look at, so it really made an impact.
It's the little things that used to bother,
Yeah.
you don't take it on no
Yeah.
more. You find out that all these things, and we've all been there, people. I've been there when I was younger. You finally look back and say, you know, I was an idiot. You know, getting upset about these little things.
True, you're correct.
You know, and when you don't have the stress, your whole life is different.
I agree.
And I want people to understand, you don't fight fire with fire. And I want you to understand, if you take martial arts, or if you take combat training, which I did all of that, or in spirituality, calmness is power. When somebody's coming at you in a rage, you remain calm. He can't think straight because he's responding off of emotion, like what we were talking about. But when somebody's calm, he sees the full picture. He knows how to handle it. And then they also teach you to use their energy against themselves. Don't use yours against theirs. So have you ever seen two people in a heated conversation?
Yeah.
And then when they're done, one of them's tired. They're exhausted. Because they just pulled your energy, the dominant one.
You know, I've noticed, and I'm talking about me now, there are some people you will have a conversation with, as you said the phone, that's what came to my mind. Whether you have a conversation with them on the phone or one-on-one, at the end of that conversation, you are drained and you are exhausted. And then sometimes with some people, you're just full of energy, you're ready to roll.
Right.
I have had that
Right.
experience.
So some will pull, some will give. Now, before we went to break, I said, do not succumb to norms. What I mean, Zelisa,
Yeah.
when I first came to Trinidad, over 30 years ago, Trinidad was totally different. And we may have had a murder now and then, right? But when there was a murder, big talk,
Everybody talking.
It was talk,
Yeah.
right? But over the years,
Yeah.
because it's progressively got
Oh,
worse,
it's horrible.
it's became a norm.
We got to
So
a
now
custom.
people say, oh,
okay.
we've had 3 today? Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
not bad.
Yeah, let's see what happens tomorrow. That's the attitude. You're correct.
You're succumbing to the norm. If it comes to corruption
Yeah.
in every agency,
Oh gosh.
well, it's become a norm.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, well, we know it's there. We know we got to deal with it. You know, a norm for divorce. Why is it that we don't try to work things out?
Yeah.
Why don't we get proper counseling? Why don't we get to the root of exactly what caused it in the first place? But no, the
Correct.
first thing,
You're ready to run.
the word divorce
Yeah.
comes up first, and they
Yeah.
get divorced.
Yeah.
You know,
It's true.
there's
It's very
so many
true.
things that we do in life that we don't even think about it anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
And this is where negativity rises. When things are not addressed and they're not put in the right place, it escalates.
And it's never fixed, but it gets worse.
It gets worse.
This is something that just came in from someone from North Carolina, and it says, well, good morning to you, darling. Let me say first of all, and thank you so much always for your support and your kind words and your intervention. I love how you speak. And this is what it says. Good morning. And she's referring to what we spoke about with the children, all right? And this is what she says. That is extremely accurate about children. They are heavily influenced by their parents or caregivers in the years when their brains are still developing. And the age where it stops developing is around 25 years old. Looking back at who you were before doesn't make you an idiot. Be gentle with that version of yourself that no longer exists. It was
Exactly.
doing everything it could to survive with the knowledge you had at that time. This is so true. So couldn't be more accurate. Thank you,
See-
darling. I appreciate this so much.
See,
It's true.
parents, people, teachers,
Don't beat up on yourself.
they do not understand the critical nature of the development of a child at a young age.
I agree.
Okay? And those values, the morals, the ethics, because your worst enemy as a parent right now is social media. That is your worst enemy. So now, here's the norm again. Oh, give them the iPad.
Yeah.
Give them the cell phone.
Yeah.
They're preoccupied. They're not bothering me no
Yeah.
more. You're actually destroying what that child is going to be. The old-fashioned, you can have times they could do this. You don't let them abuse it. Still have outdoor activities. Still learn maybe how to play an instrument.
Yeah.
There are constructive things to do as parents with your children. Now, if you work a lot, at least maybe one of the parents, if they're both working, one might be home, get involved with your child. Because let me tell you something. The way the world is evolving now, Zelisa, I hear young couples now saying they don't want to bring a child into this world.
You know, I'm hearing that a lot.
A lot of people are saying that
That's
because
sad.
of the toxic nature of what's being introduced, what's being done. People are stopped praying now. A lot of the religious faiths, if you saw them on last month on the news in the States, even the Catholics, they're saying they're losing so many people.
Yeah.
Because why? Well, I'll tell you why. Nothing's being explained. There's no teaching being done. It's only preaching. Okay, younger people nowadays, they want to see substance. They want to feel substance. They don't want to hear, when we grew up, they said you have to have faith. You have to have belief. But they don't want to do that. They want to hear factual things, not just stories. And a lot of things are being taught. And that's why we're losing the younger generation. And they believe that they are solely in control of their own destiny. That can't happen. You got to have God somewhere in your life. You got to have intervention sometimes. And next week I'm going to come up with a show where it's really going to get people involved on the process of how do you get that intervention from God, even if you're not super spiritual? You know,
Good.
but the norms, Zelisa, it's dangerous. Now,
When
do
the
we
norm
follow?
keeps us, it also keeps us very stagnant. The norm is you're so comfortable. The norm is you're so.
Society wants you to be a certain way.
Yeah.
Now, if 90% of the people are following that way, does that mean it's right?
Great point, and hold that thought right there, because that's something we're going to explore when we return. Coming to us with the kind compliments of Master Eric, offices are located opposite Palmas Park in San Fernando and LP 78 Monroe Road in Cunupare. Telephone contact numbers 354-4459, 497-7226. That's 354-4459, 497-7226. Stay with us.
Master Eric provides the universal spiritual approach in ancient meditation techniques, chakra alignment and cleansing, home cleansings and exorcisms, treatment and removal of body pains, develop persons' spiritual gifts, and assist couples that cannot conceive, full medical body scans, and these are just a few services that are provided. If you need help, please call or WhatsApp Master Eric at 354-4459. The Untold Truth, every Friday at 6 p.m. The journey has just begun with Master Eric. Zelisa. A new kind of podcast getting to the root of hidden knowledge. You can join us on Facebook, Conversations with Zelisa, TT, and YouTube, Master Eric. Your journey has just begun.
Macon Construction Company Limited, a proud member of Macon Group of Companies. Here at Macon Construction Company Limited, we provide a list of consolidated services to our clients such as consultancy, land sourcing, costing, assistance with financing, legal assistance and conveyance, engineering and architectural drawing approvals, project analysis and simulation. Macon Exhibition Center, guaranteed timely construction and completion within a budget. For more information, call us at 662-6601. Macon Construction Company, building green today with tomorrow's technology.
Welcome back to the program Conversations with Zelisa. To all of our viewers on Synergy TV, on the Caribbean Showtime Television in Canada, and of course the new U975 FM Multicultural Radio, ultimate in programming, YouTube and Facebook. Thank you so much for choosing us. I'm in conversation with Master Eric, and of course his offices are located opposite Palmas Park in San Fernando and LP 78 Monroe Road in Cunupare. Telephone contact numbers 354-4459, 497-7226. Again, 354-4459, 497-7226. Master Eric, welcome back.
Thank you. And before I forget, before the end of the program, tonight there is a podcast, The Untold Truth, and I think you're going to want to tune in, even on U97.5.
Yeah, Master Eric, we have been very fortunate to have brought the Untold Truths to radio for the past couple of weeks. And as I told you off air, and I will say it on air, the response is simply amazing. So many people called me thanking us for the content and the knowledge that they now have based on the topics that you've been exploring. So we are grateful and we're happy that you've partnered with us. So join us for that podcast tonight from 6 until 7.
We're going to be,
Master
well,
Eric.
6:10. 10 after.
Yes.
Because of the news.
I'm going to make a little arrangements with that today because we've got an outside broadcast from 7 to 9. So I'll ask Chanel to deliver the news a bit earlier so we could start at 6 because
Start
we've
at
got a
6.
commitment at 7 as
So,
well.
but tonight, those of you watching, whether you're abroad, Canada, or whatever, a lot of people, they've been coming to me. So we're going to talk about what is a spiritual gift? How do you know if you have one? And what do you do if you have one? But how did you even get it in the first place? We're going to talk about that tonight. But before we went to break, I talked about if 90% of the people are doing something,
Great point you made.
does that mean it's right? And the answer is absolutely not.
No.
That's what the trend is. Whatever everybody else does, you're going to do it too. But Zelisa, everybody out here is very smart. You're smart. You know what's right and you know what's wrong. Regardless of what the norm is or what society is saying.
I want to say this. This message came in from a brilliant young man. And I'll tell you who the young man is after, if he allow me to. But this is what he says. As youths or young adults, we get into relationships because of lust and end the relationship on the first problem. So we learn nothing about building a life together. So separating is now normal. This is so true.
It is.
May I
And-
say the name? It came in from my director, Akua.
No, he's a good
young,
guy.
ambitious, successful young
But he
man.
listens.
He listens.
And he processes what he hears.
And I love that you've said this because it's the truth, Akua.
Now,
It's
the next
truth.
thing,
Thanks for your
Zelisa,
contribution.
I think we can't, I don't know if we could do it on your show or whether we could do it on the podcast.
Yeah.
But I think people really need to know about sex.
Yeah. I really think
The
so
good
as well.
points and the bad points. But we got to watch how we do it. But nothing's going to be vulgar. It's to learn about what is proper, what's not improper, and not by the norms. So that's going to come up, and I think it will help the young man back there too. But all I'm trying to say, everyone, is that just because somebody's doing it, you'll know in your heart and in your intuition whether that's the right thing to do.
But does it make or break a relationship?
Sometimes. Zelisa, I've got people now that's come and they've said they wanted to start something spiritually for a long duration. I'm talking years.
Yeah.
They're going to sacrifice everything for years.
And that's what you did for many years.
Yes.
To be the level you
I
are
did
now.
it for 6 years.
Yeah.
So now, the first thing I told them, I said, those that are close to you, friends, even, acquaintances, they're going to walk away. And they told me yesterday that it's happening. Because you're not in the norm. You don't fit in that liming circle anymore. So they just distance you away. But to me, and I explained to them, if they are a true acquaintance or friend, I always tell people, don't be loose with that word friend. You're only going to have this many in your whole life. Okay? They're going to go. Because, and it's going to happen. Because God doesn't want you around things that is not going to benefit you, that is not spiritual.
Right. Point.
So they've come to that conclusion. But is that right, Zelisa? Or should a friend, whether it's their cup of tea or not, they should support you?
Well, that's it, eh? Let me tell you how I think.
You need to help people.
I think if you are a true and genuine friend,
Yeah.
you will understand, you will respect, and you will help motivate if that is their passion and goal. You understand? And that's if you are a true friend. But if you're not a true friend and you can't drink in line with me or whatever, then you've never been a true friend.
And then one more thing before we go. I want people to understand, don't make the mistake thinking that people have to respect you. You're running down the wrong path. Respect, you have to earn respect.
Respect is earned. That's something I totally
And
agree.
a lot of people,
I totally agree with that.
a lot of people, they're in a position
Yeah.
and they think, okay, because I'm here now, everybody
You have
has
to
to
respect
do
me.
what I say.
Yeah.
A good leader doesn't expect anything. A good leader will motivate, support, drive, and watch the results take off. But a good leader does not slander anyone else. A good leader does not demand respect. You should know by your own actions whether you're going to get respect back or not.
What you give is what you get.
Exactly, and this is the way the universe has been made. So, everybody, I always tell everybody when they come to me, be yourself.
Be you.
Be you. Do not want to be, don't like to be, don't sometimes want to be, just be.
I like
And
that.
that is you.
I like that. Be you, because you know what? You are unique. You're beautiful.
Exactly.
You're a child of God. And something I would also like to say, do what makes you happy as a person, and do love you and respect you. You know?
But some
Don't-
people don't know how.
Yeah, some people don't know how.
And this is where, call us or whoever you go to, you know, there are people that can help guide you. They're not going to change your religion or anything like that. That's not what it's about. It's about making sound, good decisions in your life. Look at the opportunities that come up. One of your people, right before we went on the show, when they were explaining to me what they wanted to do, I saw the passion.
Yeah.
And I said, when you have passion like that, it's going to succeed.
I know her passion, and that's why I'm supporting her. I know what you're talking about.
You know, so
Yeah.
this is what I want everybody out here, Zelisa, they've had a dream. Some people gave up the dream.
You know, that's so true. And I always think that we should always remember who we are and where we started and where we came from. And that's why I am a person, I like to give young people opportunities, because I remember where I started and I needed that break. I didn't start like this.
No.
Follow what I'm saying. I started many years ago where I started to creep, then walk, fall, fell down, got up again. But you have to allow other people to blossom and grow as well.
But you know another thing that holds you back, Zelisa? Not you, but I'm talking general.
Yes.
Right? Complaining.
Oh, Lord, Father.
Complaining. That holds you back.
It really does, you know. It takes you time. The energy you could put in finding a solution rather than complaining and gossiping and taking negative energies and allowing that to steal your moments. Do something positive. With that, we've got to close things
Oh,
off. So I want
by
to
fast.
thank you. It did. I want to thank you kindly. I want to invite all of our viewers and our listeners, because you could see it online as well. But listen to the podcast from 6 until 7 with Master Eric. It's going to be phenomenal as always. I want to thank Master Eric, of course. Offices are located opposite Palmis Park in San Fernando. and LP 78 Monroe Road in Kunapir.
One more thing.
Please?
If they want to come, be in a live audience, just be at the location at 5:30 today.
And that's at LP 78 Monroe Road in Kunapir. Here's reminding you that with God, all things are possible. Be kind, be courteous, wear your mask, sanitize, and, follow the law of the land. Yeah? I am Zelisa Budusing Rupani. Thank you so much for choosing us. Stay with us on the new 975 FM Ultimate in Programming. Thanks for choosing us.